Imagine for a second the crushing weight that sits on the shoulders of every hedge fund professional today. The relentless pressure to outperform, to innovate, to break free from endless cycles of mediocrity. Every quarter feels like a battle against the invisible tide of conformity, where the giants of old guard hedge funds seem almost untouchable, locked in their colossal empires, defended by layers of bureaucracy, legacy thinking, and the fossilized practices of the past. The question everyone secretly wonders but rarely says out loud is this: how to carve out space for something new, something better, something that actually works in a market that feels rigged, slow, and brutal. Look closely, and you'll see a seismic shift ripping through the very core of hedge funds. It's not the old behemoths or the usual suspects anymore. It's the emerging managers, the underdogs, the rebels who entered the arena armed with fresh eyes, radical strategies, and no patience for the outdated playbook. Suddenly, these emerging managers are not only surviving, they're dominating. They're grabbing market share, setting new performance records, and reimagining what a hedge fund can be. Why is this happening now? What makes these fresh challengers able to topple giants who once seemed invincible? Because the old structures, the old systems designed for safety, predictability, and comforting illusions of control have stopped working. Markets are evolving too fast, crises are more frequent, and technology has blurred the line between who has access and who doesn't. The traditional barriers, once solid as rock, are collapsing. And in this collapse, those who refuse to bow down to convention are now ascending. If you feel stuck watching the same funds make the same bets, year after year, with diminishing returns, even while you, the professional, are pouring your intelligence, passion, and sweat into your craft, you're not alone. This is the collective frustration born from being trapped in a system that rewards sameness over genius, stability over transformation. But here's the raw truth. Transformation demands discomfort. It demands a break from the familiar and the courage to become what no one expected, the outlier, the game changer. Emerging managers are winning because they have embraced this discomfort. They have understood that being a giant isn't about the size of your assets under management. It's about the freedom to think differently, to take risks nobody else will take, and to connect ideas and people in ways the old system simply forbids. These new managers are lean, nimble, and uncompromising about their vision. They have discarded the old layers that dilute innovation, and instead are laser-focused on what really moves the needle. Here's a reality check. The biggest hedge funds today are burdened by their own success. The more money you manage, the harder it is to shift gears quickly. The more rigid the internal politics become. The more the institution demands safe decisions that protect name and reputation, rather than seize opportunity. Emerging managers aren't held back by these chains. They reinvent the game on their terms, embracing new tech, unleashing unconventional tactics, and building cultures where individuality and autonomy fuel creativity instead of fear. Imagine the power of cutting through the noise, of aligning with the rare few who actually understand the game at a fundamental level, refusing to settle for borrowed rules and borrowed thinking. Emerging managers succeed because they have discovered how to tap into this radical, thriving network of new ideas and hidden talent. They are not limited by geography, by outdated hierarchies, or by broken gatekeepers. They collaborate intensely, learn swiftly, and adapt relentlessly. Everything you need to rise and claim what's yours is right here in their method. But what can you actually do right now to step out of the shadows and claim a similar edge? The first and most vital step is ruthless self-honesty. Break free from the comforting delusions that say you must play by the old script if you want to survive. The truth is brutal. Survival in this new era comes to those who are willing to burn their old playbooks and create new ones in the fire of challenge. Cut loose the risks-averse stance that anchors you down. The market rewards those who dare, those who invent, those who disrupt. Next, become ferocious about your independence. No one will carve out your future but you. The new dominant managers are sovereign in their will. They make decisions unchained by corporate inertia or the opinions that drown ambition in endless second-guessing. To thrive, become the architect of your own rulebook, the author of your reality, not a pawn in someone else's game. Then, embrace the power of selective alliances. The days of trying to be everything to everyone are over. The emerging managers who dominate have built tight, fiercely loyal circles of collaborators who burn as bright as they do. These connections aren't accidental. They are deliberate and precious. They are respectful of difference because difference breeds strength, and strength is a currency old hedge funds have forgotten. Find your few who really get you and build from there. Patience is your secret weapon. This is not about quick wins or hype. It's about playing the long game, sometimes years of grind and sharpening. The titans of tomorrow are the ones who hold steady when the noise around them screams distraction. They evolve slowly but surely, outlasting the fads and fleeting trends that the industry is always hungry for. Eternal patience favors those who can see beyond today's chaos. In a world addicted to comfort and conformity, emerging managers thrive because they reject both. They understand true freedom isn't a smiling illusion wrapped in convenience. It's a relentless pursuit of the edge, the rare, the exceptional. They know that real power arises when the misaligned genius finally connects and acts as one. They unite difference, tension, and contrast into unstoppable forces. So if you're watching this and feeling that relentless fire inside, this quiet tension that tells you you're meant for more, that the rules the industry hands you aren't really yours, you're not alone. You are in a hidden majority, those who refuse to live a borrowed life. This is a call, not for the many, but for the few, for those who are ready to stop waiting and start becoming. Unlocking the dominance of emerging managers means you don't need to conform. You need to dismantle the old ways of thinking, tear down the myths sold by the safe bets crowd, and forge ahead without apology. It means tapping into untapped potential, unbound innovation, and a network of others like you who are ready to rise. Every barrier that once seemed immovable is an opportunity now, a signal that the system is crumbling and something supremely powerful is emerging. Your worth is not decided by big names or huge funds. It's decided by your capacity to be sovereign, to question relentlessly, to transform with audacity, to align with those few who burn as fiercely as you do, and to endure with unshakable patience. The hedge fund world doesn't need more clones. It needs architects of the new reality. Emerging managers are proof that those architects have arrived. This moment is a revolution disguised as a market trend. It's the rebellion of individuals who refuse to be shackled by old ideas or territories. These individuals are shifting the landscape permanently, not by louder noise or flash, but by profound essence and relentless becoming. If you want to dominate, you have to stop waiting for permission. You have to build your own autonomous network, one that celebrates the rare, the misunderstood, and the brilliant. You must become the signal and the spark that changes everything. This is no longer about playing it safe or fitting in. The future belongs to those who dared to burn, not gently or quietly, but fiercely and unapologetically. It belongs to those who reject everything that doesn't serve their vision. The dominance of emerging managers makes one thing clear. The old world is fading, and a new order rises on the edge, created by those who refuse to become invisible. Lean into that fire. Feed it with boldness, connection, and patience. Become the managing force you were meant to be. Because when the few align and become power, they don't just survive the future, they command it.